Next year, we're going to celebrate USA 250. Can you believe it? We're still puppies in this world with 250 years under our belt. But still, it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of new issues from the U.S. Mint, etc. So part of our journey as we get ready for that is looking back at our history. What did we do in our colonial days when we were founding? Well, the U.S. Mint started in 1793, right? The Treasury as a whole didn't start until, give or take, the Civil War. So what did we do before then? What did we do when our soldiers were walking with George Washington up and down the East Coast during the Revolutionary War? Well, the only national currency is known as Continentals. You might have heard that phrase. They were paper money where the 13 states pooled their resources to make a special note to pay our troops. We've had this in the last 15 years 4 times. Well, tonight's the 5th. Let's enjoy it. So as I referenced, we signed the Declaration of Independence, and now we're fighting for our freedom, right? And to raise an army, to raise the militias and everything else, to take on the English for our freedom, it wasn't out of the goodness of our hearts we were doing this. Now, many would have signed up anyways, but they still had families to feed, brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles to take care of, etc. So the young men and women would join forces, and how they paid them was with something known as a Continental, the first ever paper money by the United States Treasury. And this was before they were the U.S. Treasury, actually. The actual notes you're seeing here are printed in black and then serial numbered and double signed in red. Trust me, I've seen many, many notes over the last 40 years, and the ones you want to look for are the dual color, and it was part of the counterfeiting procedure, right? We didn't have the technology we have today during this time. Now, there were 11 separate issues over a very short period of time, the fighting of the Revolution, 1775 to 1779. First series was May 10th, 1775, and the last one, January 14th, 1779, right? Just because, one, authentic, two, to help chronicle exactly what this note was, we have all of our notes always certified by one of the 2 big independent certification services, PMG, which is the currency arm of NGC, and then the other one you'll see out there in the industry is PCGS, both very high. These are all NGC certified. Now, with the group we have tonight, which is only a handful, the denominations will vary. It might say $5, it might say $7, it might say 50 shillings. They were backed with the actual coin they had at the time of printing. So think about this. The 2019 S Enhanced Reverse Proof, the holy grail in the Silver Eagle market, which is the #1 silver dollar in the world today. They made only 30,000 of them, right? Today, to even find that coin, even though it's only 5 years old, is going to cost you $2,500 to $3,000. Going back in history to our colonial founding, the first paper tied to our troops. All the other currency at that time, by the way, and thank you for bringing this up, Hunter. Yeah, we had Pennsylvania issues. We had Rhode Island issues. We had Connecticut issues. The states issued their own paper money. The only paper that was a national paper were known as Continentals. Those were for the troops, the brave men and women that were fighting for our independence. And this is how they got paid. Now, surviving 250 plus years, whole different story. Now, the number 30. The grading system for currency is very similar to that of coin. So if you understand the 70-point perfect scale, and they use the initials EPQ, exceptional print quality, on a lot of the modern notes, So you're not looking at just an average note here. This is a VF30, very fine 30, as it says right there in the upper hand corner, right? This is known as a plus note, which is why that second hologram is added. It's because, again, how old? If you look at NGC, PMG, their currency arm, and how many Continental dollars, all the different denominations between the 11 series, they have actually certified. You'd blink, saying, okay, they missed a zero, maybe a couple zeros. There's only a few thousand notes known. And of them, in this condition or higher, we're looking at less than 1,000. So it's a very special part of our history. And again, that's what we do here. We talk about our history. We talk about the pieces of coin, the pieces of paper that tie to our history and who we are. And that's what makes coin collecting - currency collecting so much fun. Currency a little bit different because there's actually imagery. There's actually words beyond that you can't sometimes make out on a coin. But tonight, everybody, this is kind of where we're at. Guys, give me a 1 minute clock. I'm down to my last 4 notes. So if you are visiting us via the web, avccoins.com, here's my canned pitch. It's in your shopping cart right now. Push it through. It's very possible if you're hanging around to look for something else as the show goes on, which we're going to say big time thanks for, this note might not be there, right? So again, all of these authentic, all of them graded 30 by PMG. That's a key. All of them dual color. All of them are black with the red serial number and the red signature, as you saw here. They will be varying denominations. All of them say Philadelphia, by the way, because, well, that was the seat of government at that time. This particular reverse is from 1776, one of the early editions. The obverse you're seeing is from 1778, towards the end of the end of the Revolutionary War. You wouldn't think that would be that hard to say. But anyways, enjoy this. This one, these are some special pieces of history. And again, affordable. By the way, my competition for a note not certified, and it looked real, so I trust that it is. They got a great reputation. $878 up to $1,140. All of ours premium certified PMG 30s, and that is our price. That is the AVC way.